about the housing crisis in remote parts of Hawaii, like Waianae. Today we are delivering in Waianae. It is the furthest west, beautiful mountain and valley and clouds. Look at this beautiful valley that I am just sitting in front of. So I chose to park the car where I could check out this valley. People actually live. This is about an hour away from, probably an hour without traffic. Maybe it's like an hour, 90 minutes away from Magnificent. But there's this whole other dry side, this beautiful mountain, and then there's ocean just right over there. So the ocean is not far away. So I want to spend time with the dogs, right, dogs? Hi, dogs. Hello, dogs. Hello, dogs. Look, dogs. So if I drive other people, then I take my service dog, but even that compromises some rides because service dog sits here and sometimes there's 4 people or 3 big people and they want to use the front seat, but they can't. And it doesn't make sense to them because people don't usually have their service dogs when they're driving rideshare. But Satori's in the back today because she likes to dominate her pack. She likes to dominate her kids. And that is not my parenting style. So I have to control the bullying that goes on in this pack. I'm really the alpha, right, guys? And I lead with love. But I can't watch what Satori does at every moment. So when she bullies them, like she does, just like my father, like just random rage, just to keep them off their feet. Like she'll just like harass White out of nowhere, grab him and pin him down, and he'll start squealing like a pig. He doesn't squeal as much anymore. He's getting a little older, which is good. Oh, Mr. White. And then I have to often just yell and get her off them. This one's Tuxedo. Tuxedo Schmeedo. Hello, Tuxie. She's the love bug of the family. She is a lover. She loves endlessly, has a beautiful smile, and she has a heart condition. So she like pants really hard, and she pants really hard, and we have to stop when we're on walks. Thanks, Flippy Bucks. Thanks for your 2 cents. So dogs can die from congenital heart conditions, and I'm hoping that she doesn't die early because she is such a cutie. My lover. Even Satori likes her, and Satori doesn't like any of her babies. But she's such a cute lover that, and she likes Mr. White. And then there's Mahogany back here. Oops, orientation is locked. Mahogany! Where's Mahogany? She's back here. Down here somewhere. So I'm mostly a Lyft driver. I'm mostly a rideshare driver. And when I rideshare drive, I have to work like often 6 days a week, 6 hours a day, which doesn't seem like a lot, but when you're driving like 150 miles per day, 6 hours becomes my personal maximum. I'm not really interested in driving a car for 60 hours a week with no breaks. And it's so funny because the more you drive, you get bonuses. The amount you get paid by the price of the ride, but there's another way that you can get paid, which is by the amount of rides that you complete. So in 6 hours, I can complete 10 rides. And then they'll give you a bonus if you do 40 rides or 50 rides or 60 rides. You'll get like $30 or $60. So one time I like try to push myself and do 15 rides in one day, which is like trying to collect these little $3 rides. You know, people are just like going from one end of Waikiki to the other. Yes, Zoe, look at my hair. It's totally crazy. It's just this long piece and everything else is shaved because I'm afraid to shave my head. But then I had this like mullet thing going on. I can actually, my dogs, they are Lab Terrier mixes. This one is white, and when he came out, I was like, dude, the father's brown. How did I come out with a white dog? But if you look at pictures of Jack Russell Terriers, they are often this color. And then Satori here is Black Lab. She's the mother. Satori. Satori is black, and she's Black Lab and Jack Russell. So I guess the white coat gene had recessed, but her attitude is most definitely Jack Russell. But the dog, the father is brown, and he's a scoundrel. Oh, here is the other brown dog, which is Mahogany. I named them for color. I named them for color. Hi, Mahogany. Dogany. Mahogany. So it fits their bodies perfectly, each little foot compartment. And we have the mama. 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 Hi, Cody. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. Boo 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 boo. So I encourage, like, I was like feeling bitter about living in Hawaii and not getting to enjoy any of the beauty of Hawaii. And so I made it a point to do, I had been doing these deliveries as well of stuff, which is not like, yes, I have 4 dogs. And sometimes I watch other people's dogs. So sometimes I have 5 dogs on a leash. But my own home pack is 4. 4 dogs. They're all the same family. And I often think about rehoming them, but I love them so much. But originally last year I was trying to rehome all of the babies. But now we're a family unit and we're pretty bonded, so it would be hard to let them go. But I think about White. He's not really able to be his full alpha self because his mom is a narcissist. And she likes all the attention as the service dog, and she is not really, she's like an anxious, insecure leader. So she leads with violence. She leads with dominance, and then she like makes him yelp and stuff. She does that to all the dogs so that she can assert her power, and I'm against it. But so that's the dynamic that we have going on. Like, I'm like, no, or not no, but I like yell every time she does it. I have to pull her off of some of the other dogs, and really tiring and testing to watch that dynamic because um, I wouldn't parent like that. I don't advocate like, you know, parental violence, and I'm trying to show her in the best way that you can actually be a solid leader without doing that, but she doesn't seem to get the message. It's crazy. And these babies are they were born in February of 24, so they are officially 1 year and 6 months now. It's really hard to train them because they're all together and they act like three stooges in a ball pit a lot of the time. So I think that training siblings is difficult, so I'd like to, if I had more time, to just do isolated trainings with them, but then I would have to leave Satori at home and she would not like that. She would be upset, but I think like they can't even really sit stay and they're a year and a half, and I've tried positive conditioning and rewards, but I think it's because they're together that they get this Three Stooges syndrome. I mean, it's crazy. Let's look at these beautiful mountains and these beautiful cloud formations. Do you guys know how beautiful Waianae Valley is? I love these mountains. These are really similar to the ones in Kaneohe, but not as green because it doesn't rain as much here. So I am a worker in the working class, living in Honolulu. This is my 6th year. I've had a service dog for 5 years, and I've had these puppies for 1.5 years now. And I've decided that the dream of living in Hawaii is going to the beach and enjoying nature. That's why I came here. That's what I love about this island. So in order to do that, I need to not drive people, and then I need to drive these packages. Like today, we drove some packages, and then we ended up here in Waianae, which is really far. And so it's kind of like, what's it called? Being able to, even if quality time is just watching these babies sleep, They're pretty small. I definitely noticed. See, I was against spaying, and so now I have 4 dogs, right? This is my 2nd litter, honestly. And the first litter did not go well. One of them died. One died at birth, one died of parvo. And after the other dog died of parvo, I surrendered the whole litter because I was devastated and I was afraid that the whole litter was infected. And to this day, like that, if you surrender your dogs, they do not tell you what happened to them. And I know that and they've told me that it's a no-kill shelter and they don't kill puppies unless it's a really extreme situation. So a part of me thinks, they're dead because they were infected and they had to kill the dogs, and they won't tell me because they're not allowed to tell this information, even if you are the one who surrendered them. But it's probably better that I don't know. It was really devastating. And at that time, I was like, I'm not going to have any more litters. But I didn't have the resources to spay Satori right away. But I'm on the fence with, spaying your dog because, look, Mr. White, all of these dogs are at least 6 inches smaller than they would have been if I waited. But I had another thing that the Humane Society did, because we are houseless people, and houseless dogs usually end up reproducing. So they gave us, we are part of the outreach program, and then they did complementary surgeries on all 3 dogs when they were only 4 months old. So let's see, they were born in February. I got them all spayed in about July. And the shelters, they believe they are all about spay and neuter, spay and neuter, spay and neuter, not taking into account any, not taking into account the psychological trauma of. For some people, it's not traumatic at all, and they just clip the balls off or they tie the tubes and they don't think twice about it. And then what I found in my dog kenneling business, watching other people's dogs, and then I've watched two unfixed dogs, a lot of unfixed dogs, a lot of intact dogs, and seeing their behavior and how different it is. One was an intact nightmare, total hornball, and dominant. And he was a nightmare to take care of. But seeing that there's other owners besides myself who have trouble immediately spaying the dog, this is proof that it does stunt their growth when you do it that early. They weren't even a year old, but I really needed to do it because I couldn't afford to do it. And I have three of them, 3 puppies. And I think did I pay for the mama? I think all of them were, maybe I paid a little bit for Satori because she's not a puppy, but I just wanted to jump on that opportunity because normally it'd be like a $500 probably for all three of them. So I just did it because we could do them all at once, but definitely they are smaller dogs as a result. And living with their mom, who is kind of an insecure mother, narcissistic mother, abusive mother, it doesn't really help them, even if I'm a loving mother, because they are animals at the end of the day, and the way that the animals treat each other is going to be their most primal ruler. And so that's why I thought of rehoming Mr. White so that he could, grow into a stronger dog. Because he's really fast and he can catch a feral chicken, and like anyone, he can catch any chicken, like guaranteed, kill it. And I had to stop him from doing that because I can't keep up with the amount. I can't kill them. They can't eat them. I tried to kill them for eating, but it's a lot of trouble to debone and do all that stuff. I don't have time to do all that. So trying to cut chicken bones with a cleaver is really difficult. It's not easy. It's not easy work. So I'd rather go to the store and buy the bones that way. And, if he does kill a chicken when we're on our walks, yes, sometimes they're unleashed. I think, hours and hours of unleashed time is mandatory for healthy dog life. But now I have to do it less because they kill chickens. He kills chickens. And they're vicious because they're not very socialized. So they're viciously protective. They bark when other dogs, they're very reactive. I try to take them to the dog park, but when the mom is with them at the dog park, she influences their behavior so they can't really be themselves. They're really scared that I'm going to leave them there and stuff. So it's challenging to be raising a pack of 4 of all the same family. I'm possibly thinking having a male dominant dog that's more dominant than Satori would balance it out so that she would have to listen to him. And if he could dominate, we did watch a beautiful dog, male, intact, and he was way more dominant than Satori, and would do the barking and the protecting of the house, right? So, and she would just, fall into line under him because she's smaller. And so that's the kind of thing that I need, where it's he's more of a leader without bullying, without violence, because it's really bad. It really replicates my mom, and it's kind of triggering, and I don't really know what else to do at this point. So like I said, we're in beautiful Waianae, and I am going to do another live from the homeless camp in Waianae. So stay tuned. I'll be doing that shortly.